Reaching you live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. This is Sports Tonight. It's good to have you join us. I'm Austin Okonakpan. On the show tonight, we'll give you live updates from the CAF Awards that's taking place right there in Dakar, Senegal. Nigeria opened on a winning note by winning the Women's Team of the Year. Yes, the Super Falcons. Don't touch them. Don't come close to them. 9 times African Women's Cup of Nations title winners, and they won that award, undisputed champions. So we are monitoring what's going on right there at the CAF 2018 CAF Awards. So much still to come. Will Mo Salah retain his crown? Are we going to see an upset? Can Sadio Mane or Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang do something? Can Francisca Odega just win the women's title? Or Assistant Oshola continue to reign supreme in the women's category? Not forgetting that Katlana is also in that mix. Yes, the South African has had a beautiful 2018, and she's also in the running for the Women's Player of the Year award. Yes, the CAF Awards will get our attention big time on the show tonight. Also on the show, we'll take a look at what's going on right there at the NNL. Yes, business end of the competition tomorrow. It seems Bendel Insurance, they will be coming back to the Nigeria Professional Football League, but they need to play 3ST. Shooting Stars and Bendel Insurance, that one is a cracker of a match to watch. I love everything that has happened so far in the NNL Super 8. We'll be monitoring it. You'll listen to some of the major players from that competition that is taking place right there in Aba. We will talk about it on the show tonight. We are also monitoring live results from the 2018 Carabao Cup, our semi-final results. We will tell you on the show tonight that the draw has been done for the English FA Cup 4th round. What a story. Manchester United will take on Arsenal. What can the Gunners do in that one? We love it. We love the FA Cup. We'll talk about it on the show tonight. And, of course, every other thing going down in our world of sports, particularly sports in Nigeria. Don't forget, we are still staying focused on that objective. What are your expectations for sports in Nigeria in 2019? We reviewed 2018, and all of those recommendations that we made, we said, look, 2018, there were some beautiful things to keep. So we want to consolidate on that in 2019. Where we recorded lows, we must improve on them. So the Ministry for Youth and Sports, they're talking. They said, look, we need to prepare big time for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. I totally agree with that. The minister has also been talking about football. Football will be very busy in 2019. Don't forget, all of that we're monitoring right here on the show tonight. But can I do the show alone? No. So let me invite you to be part of the Fun Factory Sports Tonight on your award-winning sports-loving Channels Television. You can talk to us on Twitter, Channels_Sports, Facebook, Channels IF Sports. You can send us an email, sportstonight@channelstv.com. All our top stories can be viewed on our website, channelstv.com, and on YouTube/ChannelsWeb. If you log on to m.channelstv.com, you should be able to download the Channels TV app for any of those devices that you see right there on your screen. So much is going down in our world of sports. So let's do the show together tonight. And I know it will be fun when you get involved. Cosmos Chukwuemeka is in the studio. Cosmos, let me start by saying Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you very much, Austin. Happy New Year. Nigeria won the first award, Women's National Team of the Year. Then, of course, for the Men National Team of the Year, guess who? Mauritania. Mauritania win, of course, qualified for the AFCON Cup of Nations for the first time ever in their history. They are the Men's Team of the Year. Yeah, that's it on TV. The National Team of the Year. Mauritania, and that is that. So, I mean, it's a rush. It's a rush right there. We saw men, women gone. Let's see what all that, we bring to us. So, Nigeria, Women Team of the Year, and Mauritania, the Men National Team of the Year.
Wow. Okay, so that's it. Nigeria for the women, Mauritania for the men. Talking about the national teams of the year. We are also monitoring what's going on in the EFL Cup semi-final game. Tottenham Hotspur taking on Chelsea. That one should also be big action on the way right there in England. Let's go on this quick timeout. When we come back, what's going on at the CAF Awards? We'll give you more of this, so don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We will stay with what's going on right there at the CAF Awards, but let's also let you know news that you can use, information that you can keep. Egypt, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, they have announced Egypt as the host for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Cosmos, were you expecting South Africa?
Well, of course, lots of us wanted South Africa because of the, you know, how I say, the luck Nigeria usually have playing in South Africa and all that. But Egypt are going to be in this one. I mean, they will be hosting the African Cup of Nations for the 5th time in their history. You know, I would say that they hosted early on in the 57s. I think after Sudan, they hosted as well. Then they hosted again in 86. Nigeria didn't qualify for that one. Then, of course, 20 years later, they hosted in 2006, and they are hosting again in 2019 because Cameroon was unable, you know, were unable to host. Of course, they are going to be using 8 cities, 8 stadiums, and the stadiums are ready. They are there.
Is
already
what we are talking about.
Now, for people that say that South Africa is more ready, they hosted the World Cup, Egypt has never hosted the 2014. Let me remind you that Egypt has hosted the 2014. In fact, it was a World Cup. It was a FIFA World Cup, the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in 2009, where Ghana won against, I think, Brazil on penalties. Yes, that is what they'll be doing. And of course, don't forget that this will give an opportunity for Egyptians to come back to the stadium because they have been banned from some certain stadiums.
That's right. And again, look at what they're displaying. This is what we are talking about, infrastructure development.
Yep.
You cannot fault Egypt with infrastructure development.
And they have it already. They have it already. And they are at the best you can get. You know, they are well maintained. The stadiums are there. They're well maintained. It's just like the situation of Nigeria too. Nigeria has got stadiums, probably the highest number of stadiums in Africa. I do stand to be corrected, but more than 95% of them are not maintained. You know, so it's about maintaining the stadiums, and you can see that they are ready. Yeah. I mean, there are 2 stadiums in Cairo already. They're going to be using the military stadium where Zamalek play, and of course the Cairo International Stadium where Al Ahly play. They'll be playing in Ismail as well. I think in Masari too, in Sousse. You know, these are places where they'll be playing 8 stadiums, and you want to say that Egypt are ready. And of course, they were massively voted for. Just 1 vote for South Africa, 16 for Egypt, 1 vote for South Africa, while 1 didn't vote, but they were massively voted for. And yes, you will say that the African Cup of Nations is going back home because the home of football administration in Africa is in Cairo anyway, in Egypt. So it's going back home. So they're going to be playing in Egypt, and hopefully the weather will be good, and Nigeria will be able to get their mojo back. Last time Nigeria played in Egypt in the African Cup of Nations, they were in the semi-finals, and of course got a bronze medal. So
that's the story. Egypt will host the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Let's go. I'll get some talking points from that one, and when we come back, I'll hear from you. Do you like Egypt as choice for the AFCON 2019? We'll talk about it.
And I promise that Egypt will do the best to make a very good event next June and July. We have a short period, but Egypt is ready for such event. We did 5 times before, and also we did 2 World Cup for teenagers, and I promise that all the African nations will be very comfortable and will be very happy in our country. And it's good to thank you all the African nations which vote for Egypt.
So that's it. Karam Fatah, Egypt FA chief, and he's not just saying come to Egypt. He knows that this is good confidence booster for them. They will have home support. And remember what happened in 2006.
2006 was the beginning of the hat-trick of the AFCON wins for Egypt. Egypt won Ivory Coast, Drogba and co. in the finals of the AFCON 2006 on penalties. So, and, you know, of course, I went to Ghana in 2008, won as well. And, of course, in Angola 2010, they won as well. So it was the beginning of a hat-trick. Now, before then, they hadn't won the African Cup of Nations. The last time they won was in 1998, and they were always going out of the quarterfinals. I think they went out of the quarterfinals in Ghana, Nigeria 2000 against Ghana. I can never forget that, against Ghana in the semifinals. Sorry, against South Africa in the semifinals. And of course, they in Tunisia 2004 as well, they didn't particularly do well. But in Egypt, they did very well. And I can never forget that final. That was where Mido, remember Mido, Hassan Mido, had this squabble with his coach at the time, Shaheta, and because of it, he never played for the Egyptian national team again. So this will be the time for Egypt to have that time as well. And of course, they won also the AFCON they hosted in '86 as well. In fact, all of the AFCON they've hosted, they've won. Yeah, that's it, basically.
So that's it. Egypt will host in 2019. Let's see if the home support will do something. Then Michael Oyebode on Twitter says, why not Nigeria? It was to be held in West Africa. But we know the problem, West Africa. One of the problems one of the issues Cameroon couldn't even deal with also was infrastructure.
Well, infrastructure, Nigeria could have been able to host it, but then it has to take the will of the government to accept that they're going to host or not. And so far, so good. The government has not particularly come out to say they want to host. I mean, it has to take interest from the NFF. And of course,
we have what it takes. It's not
I think we do. Yes, certainly we do. We've got the stadiums.
It's not just that. It's a whole lot of logistics.
I get you.
Structures.
Now, Nigeria have hosted
medicals.
I get what you're trying to say. Nigeria would have been able to host the African Cup of Nations in flying colors. Yes, I say it here, in flying colors. Now, this is not just the country that have hosted the African Cup of Nations twice. They have hosted 2 World Cups. Nigeria have hosted 2 World Cups. No country
At what level?
Well, it is still a standard.
When Nigeria hosted in the year 2000, it was
2009.
No, I'm talking about the AFCON proper.
2000.
2000. It was with Cameroon.
It was with Ghana, and that was because Zimbabwe was supposed to host. Zimbabwe couldn't host, and on the bounce of the fact that Nigeria time frame. Nigeria only had 3 months. On the bounce of the fact that...
I'm talking about now.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
6 months.
Everyone on social media that is supporting football in Nigeria believes it should have come to Nigeria.
Is it not 6 months? Nigeria had 3 months. In 1999/2000, Zimbabwe was supposed to host...
How many centers?
How many centers
did they use?
In 2000. In 2000. They used 5 centers.
Cosmos, not now.
But fine, not now. What I'm trying to say, that we know in this country...
the competition is growing.
I agree.
Because you need to think about marketing it.
I agree. And that is why I said it has to take the will of the NFF, the Football Federation, and the government to say you want to host. Trust me, if Nigeria had decided that they wanted to host the African Cup of Nations and they have bidded and somehow they have won, trust me, it's going to be massive. But then we know this is an election year. Nigeria wouldn't want to do that. So for me, Nigeria would have been able to host. I can mention stadiums that if you just put it, it's just a matter of touch things and we'll be good. Trust me on that.
Let me go to social media. Let me just look like I'm trying to, push customers off. Adams JC Odobayacham says, Nigeria does not have what it takes to host the AFCON. It says, that was then and not now. 98% of all the pitches are AstroTurf. No international body will approve us hosting a major tournament.
With AstroTurf, I mean, we hosted the Under-17 World Cup, and it was this, it was a 24-team affair. 16-team affair. I feel that we can be able to do it. It's, as I said, the will of the federation, and of course, the will of the government. Egypt FA had to talk to the government, and the government accepted.
So that's it. And Egypt, I mean, they're ready, 100% ready to host. Let's go on this break. And that's what Sean Daniel said. Egypt should just host it. Let's go on this break. When we come back, more updates from the CAF Award. So don't go anywhere. Stay.
This is my team, and my team makes me.